Hey everyone, this is Chris, and you're listening to a surprise episode of One Cross Radio. We are currently on our Christmas break, but we wanted to have some fun and do a watch along with our dear friend Nathan Marchand. Now you'll notice now the audio is a bit different. It's because I'm recording this after the fact. Because when Nathan and I went to edit, we realized due to just some technical magoo that we lost our intro, which was just a fun experience. The whole episode was really fun, but basically it was just the intro was just trying to set the table to how both he and I came to Power Rangers, his visiting in space, and setting the scene for what set up the season, and what the franchise had inherited coming off of Turbo being what Turbo was, which was not a great season, with debatably a really solid season finale that was the best part of the season, and then they took the lessons from that season finale and then bumped it up. By bumped it up, I mean they really took what they learned and rolled with it and ran with it, and it was better. So I think that's about it.
As we lost the intro to the last episode as well, we lost the greetings and all that, so where we're picking up, you're not really missing anything. We're just at the very beginning of Countdown to Destruction, Part 1. Hope you guys enjoy, and God bless.
Yeah.
Check out this guy.
Dark Spectre is so cool, but this is the starting trend Power Rangers suffers of when they have a big bad who's supposed to be male, having that voice. Like, Lord Zed's was so distinct, but audible. Whereas this, when I see him, I'm just like, she is more threatening than he is. He just sounds like
the funny thing was, Dark
Monster.
Spectre, for what I understand, was supposed to be a completely different sort of character. He was supposed to be humanoid, but because of budget constraints, they recycled the, what was it, Malagor or whatever?
From
the
movie.
Turbo movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen the Turbo movie yet.
It's not good. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, was that something from Star Wars? Holy crap, it's Sentai footage.
I know. It's recycled Sentai
You can tell
footage.
because the film stock looks different.
Well, also, I loved the Machine Empire, especially that Scottish guy. Bex and I talked about him in great detail.
Oh, geez, the crazy cogs.
Yeah. Recycled footage.
Oh, not Divatox. Please, not Divatox. Of course, Divatox.
Better in small doses, and then with the Ninja Rangers, right?
Yeah. Although you gotta appreciate
having
villain. Yeah. Although you gotta appreciate having. Hey, it's Red. I almost combined. I made their super couple name. It's Red. Zed and Rita.
Elgar drops in the shadow.
You gotta appreciate villains who just self-identify as evil, and Astronema here, who at this point is a cyborg.
Yeah.
Thanks to Darkonda, so is Ecliptor. Zing! Yep. They, I'm going to turn it up here a little bit. She's a full-tilt nihilist, apparently, in this, saying, like, there will be no good and no happiness and nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, how much better are the henchmen soldiers in this than the Piranhatrons?
Oh, so much better. I forget, what are they called in this?
I forget. Remember. Quatrons? Oh, Zordon.
Yeah. Who's been missing this entire season. So that must have been interesting for the kids, where they have a whole season with no Zordon. So no mentor. The kids are on their own.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like,
here we go! The epic intro.
This is like the second or third best theme. It's fantastic.
You can't see it, but I am dancing in my chair.
Like, this
Hey,
is
it's Blondie McHandsome.
Or as Linkara refers to Andros as Legolas.
I've called him Legolas a few times myself. What was
and
the name of
true
the
heroes
actress
of
who
the show.
played Astronema here? Oh my gosh, that action figure costume! But
Yeah.
the Battleizer, it looks ridiculous. But did you catch the name of the actress who played Astronema there? I missed it.
I didn't, but I'll look it up.
Okay.
Seriously, this.
Whoa! Wait, what? Who's the cop?
Oh, that is the Blue Centurion. He was in Turbo.
He comes back in this too?
Yeah, dude, they bring everybody back in this one.
Oh wow! So what you're saying is this is the original Endgame of Power Rangers?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, Gold Ranger?
Yeah, which
Isn't he Jason or something?
so the original Gold Ranger was Trey of Triforia, and then,
oh my gosh!
Then he became,
it's War of the Worlds.
It is, yeah. And then Jason became the Gold Ranger, but the Gold Ranger powers was hurting him, it was threatening his life. So now it's back to Trey of Triforia.
Oh, okay. Because I remember I had friends who kept watching Power Rangers longer than me, and they were talking about Jason being the Gold Ranger.
Yeah, he was my favorite 6th Ranger.
I wonder if my favorite. Oh, my favorite credit isn't in here. There's a Jackie Marchand who worked on Power Rangers for a long time as a story editor and a writer, and I was wondering if she was, because sometimes she doesn't write every episode. I was wondering if she was going to be here, but anyway.
I feel bad. I never. The guy does
What?
good, but
What?
I never.
Were those gifts that I just saw flying across the screen?
Oh yeah, here we go.
Babylon 5 special effects here.
Oh, and to answer your question, Melody Perkins.
Perkins, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I gotta say, Velocifighters, I do like that name.
Yeah, no, it takes fighters and adds almost like Velociraptor to it. What's not to like? Also, is it the Magna Glider?
I think so. I don't remember.
It took a shot from a ship and it's fine.
Of course it is. Sounds like Jimmy's mic. Are you what do they call them, like chronotrons or whatever? Are you a chronotron and I don't know it, Jimmy? Okay, deny it all you want. I have my suspicions.
So the funny things that's happening here, just that the mega ship creeps up under them. It casts a shadow in space.
Whoops.
and the Quatron, the slow dramatic go to push the button
By the way, fun fact, Zed, they got his name from the British pronunciation of the letter Z. Why do you think he has Z's for everything?
Well, it was a kid show in the 90s. They had to my logos are everywhere.
Yeah, kind of like how Hydra is a super secret organization that puts its logo and branding everywhere.
Yep. You know what? I think my favorite actor of In Space is probably Selwyn Ward.
Which one is he?
He's the Blue Ranger. He was the second Red Turbo Ranger.
Okay.
But it's this weird pattern. Sometimes it happens where, the guy who played Rocky, he was the second Red Ranger, but by that point Tommy was the leader of the team. And then in Zeo he became the Blue. And he got time to shine as that. And same thing with TJ. TJ was a fine Red Ranger, but I think of him more as a Blue Ranger.
Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah.
This is getting crazy now.
Well,
by the way, this invasion just comes out of nowhere. The previous episode to this involved fighting a sentient Hummer.
Yeah.
And now suddenly it's full tilt invasion.
not as seamless transitions between current footage and Sentai explosion footage.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you, there are points I was watching in space and we're like, oh my gosh, someone just punched the Red Ranger so hard he flew into another show.
So this kind of becomes a trope from later finales where
Shields up, Captain.
it's sudden, like, huge invasions of Earth. Looking at you, stupid Power Rangers Megaforce. Unlike that crappy show, though, this one actually handles it well.
Yeah, I've heard that this one set the bar so high for finales that nobody's really been able to compete since. I almost feel like within space they were course correcting so hard from Turbo, and because they thought it was their last season, they just thought, well, you know what, we're just going to go all out, and in space set the bar so high that nobody's been able to quite reach its heights since then. That's the impression I get, because I'm not the hardcore Power Ranger fan here.
I'd co-sign that. Like, the to give it all credit in the world, though, Chase into Space was a fantastic finale, like better than the rest of the Turbo season. But I'll say that Countdown to Destruction takes everything that worked about Chase into Space, but amplifies it. Like, it makes it 10 times bigger.
At that time, the Red Ranger got shot out of the sky and fell into another show.
Yep.
Because I think these henchmen are not in the Sentai.
No, they're not.
I don't think any of them are. The Piranatrons and the Quantrons or whatever they're called. I don't think any of them are from the Sentai.
No. Elgar carried over. I think Darkonda carries over from Mega Ranger. Blue Centurion carries over from Car Ranger.
Yeah, except I found out what his Sentai name is, and it's really silly. His Sentai name is Signal Man.
But it works when you watch Car Ranger, because it's hilariously ridiculous.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, Car Ranger, I'm there for.
Okay, I love how the Quantrons all have batleths and clearly were not trained by Klingons.
Oh, yeah, no. And now let's use toys, basically.
Ridiculous weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love how he missed them. He shot behind them, and it still counts as a hit.
So, something probably my favorite season of the show is RPM. I say it took lessons from Space. Oh, yeah.
This ridiculous armor. Is this from the Sentai? Because this looks like a freaking action figure.
No, I don't think it was.
There's Darkonda. He's been mysteriously absent for a while.
I think the Battleizers were strictly American.
That explains why the thing is super ridiculously buff.
Yep. It was purely about selling toys. Oh, yeah. Ecliptor's pretty gangster.
Oh, eye laser! I'm pretty sure that Darklifter's Sentai counterpart actually died in the footage that they used from the Sentai, but they're like, we can't have him die because we have a finale coming.
Well, oh, dude, like, so much of the differences between the Sentais and the show, heck, the Sentai Jew Ranger Mighty Morphin was based on, the Green Ranger dies in that show.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that, actually.
Yeah. So, listener, we're at the point of the episode where the Rangers are losing. Like, they're putting up a valiant fight, but they are entirely overwhelmed. They've just had their suits blasted off of them.
Wait, did he just summon that thing from really far away?
Yes, but it's also Power Rangers, so we don't put that much thought into it.
Like, unfortunately, I put too much thought into everything. Haven't you heard my show?
Well, that's like, I saw a meme the other day where it's, I'm overthinking, someone's just like, you overthink things. And then the person responds like, I have anxiety. That's the only way I think about things. So, now we've got the Mega Winger, which is the secondary Megazord, but it's just a soul. That's something I like about in space. didn't like. I always loved the Zords, and the first couple Megazords are awesome, but this is the first one where it's just like, hey, we've just got two big robots. Like, it's not like five individual ones. Which
Oh
wouldn't
yeah,
work.
they didn't Voltron it.
Yeah, but it makes sense because it wouldn't work with them in a spaceship in space. So the Rangers are losing so badly right now. The powers are failing them,
Yeah.
which is a nice touch. It's not something
Yeah,
they go to that often.
full disclosure right here with the setup that we're doing here on the island. I can't. I don't have the best sound hearing the episode right now, but I'm getting most of it.
If I'm talking too much, please let me know.
No, that's not a problem.
Okay.
Why I have the subtitles on to help with this.
Right. So
all right, we're on to our second commercial break.
Yep, and a dramatic slowdown.
It's not the first one of this episode, and whose butt was that just went by? It did not look like any of the goons.
It was just some random butt shot.
And somehow our heroes have escaped. I don't know how they eluded after they were surrounded by bad guys after demorphing, but okay.
They probably, I think, ran into a crowd and then vanished, and because the plot needed them to.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I have to say, I also think that the acting got better in this season compared to Turbo, from what little I've seen of Turbo. Although I will admit the guy who plays Andros is a little flat at points.
Well, that's the thing. Like, as I was watching that scene right there, and I don't want to say it meanly, but it's almost, heck, watching in space or even RPM, you're just like, could you imagine if we did this season as a serious, like, adult sci-fi show? Like, with, like, we cast it with high caliber acting? It'd be amazing. Like, not taking away from what it is.
I think with a few tweaks here and there, most of these episodes would work.
Oh, absolutely. Like,
go for it.
There's certain things we just trim, but that's the thing. In space and RPM, they just translate so well to that, where it's just tweaking. It's not wholesale redoing it.
Yeah, everybody's got their own agenda going on at this point. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm just assuming all the bad guys are just all going to devolve into infighting here in a second.
So, Darkonda, he's got one life left. He's trying to kill Dark Spectre.
You imagine having all those lives, and then within the span of about 3 months, you lose all of them. Man, that's like being the Doctor and burning through your regenerations in a week.
Yeah. So he's trying to kill Dark Spectre because of how weak Dark Spectre is. So he can become the supreme leader.
Which is what Astronema has been trying to do. In fact, the only reason the Psycho Rangers existed was because they somehow drew their power from him and she was trying to drain him.
Exactly.
But Darkonda made her this, it gave her Locutus makeover here.
And it made
so
her
I'm assuming it was all part of his plan to make this happen.
Another thing I do gotta say is the second half of In Space, I like that they finally settled on like one hairstyle for Astronema.
Actually, I read an article that talked about that, about how the reason that she kept changing wigs all the time up until she got her Locutus makeover was because her whole thing is trying to figure out what her identity is. And Darkonda is dead.
Yeah, he was gonna go
and
kill
apparently
Astronema,
so is Dark Spectre.
And Dark Spectre, as he's dying, like, I'm taking you down, and then he eats him and blows up.
Yes, he ate him. One of the rare times I see a kaiju eat somebody.
Yeah.
Those are some very strategically placed holes in her shirt, I'm just saying.
Well, are they holes? No, those are like pineapples.
Are they pineapple? Okay, I could have swore those were holes.
Yeah, no, it's too much of a kid's show for that. They don't.
That's why I was wondering. Like, those are perilously close. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. It's heck. I've got notes for the next for the next episode. So Astronema is now the supreme leader. Pretty sure that guy fought Captain Kirk.
Yeah, that actually looks like the desert set they used for Arena. Oh yeah, fine, yeah, cry all you want. I don't care.
You know what?
I hate you, Divatox. I hate you.
Don't hate this scene. This is kind of funny to me.
Okay, admittedly, it's a little bit funny, but but Divatox is definitely one of those characters I can only stand in small doses. You know, people like Lobo. Lobo right. For me is fine in small doses, but my gosh, I don't know if I can handle an entire movie or television show about Lobo. I would get bored very quickly because it would just quickly turn into one note.
You know what I'd say? Just because we're talking
yes,
Lobo briefly.
You are the supreme leader, which I guess means you're in charge of North Korea. Have fun with that.
And Zordon is now trying to appeal to Corone, but
yeah,
we think that is, what she's showing is that personality is dead.
Yeah.
You
see,
mentioned Lobo.
we got the Locutus stuff going on here now.
So you mentioned Lobo. I'm not that big of a fan of him, but I think I have a good idea of how he could be used. To me, he should be a Wonder Woman movie villain. Just because Wonder Woman doesn't have the best rogues gallery. So you face her off against Lobo, who's a good physical threat, but also that's a good way for them to have their commentary about this is the type of toxic masculinity that we want to fight against.
Oh boy. All right. So we just finished part 1 and it ended like, oh wait, no, don't. I wanted to watch the credits, dang it. Because they put bloopers. They put bloopers.
Yep.
You know what? I'm going to back it up to the previous episode because I want to see the bloopers.
Yeah, go for it. I also talked over the ending.
Okay. Come on, Netflix, load it. I'm going to vamp this hard. I'm vamping it hard to keep this entertaining for the listeners. All right.
Are you still here?
All right. Let's see. 42 because it's the answer to the life universe and everything. All right. You're still there, right? Didn't lose you? All right.
Are you seeing my comments in the chat?
No, I'm not. So I may have to reset the chat.
I still
got you playing. Left. It's all right. Okay. I'll set up another one before we record my episode. All right, here we go.
Oh boy. Okay, wait. What's going on? Oh, are you watching the bloopers?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Rita just pushed Zed over. And Astronema forgot her line. Completely broke character. All right. Well, since we got to get another teleparty set up anyway, let's do a little post-episode follow-up.
Sure. So, what did you think of the first part of that episode? I know towards the end I was just talking about Wonder Woman, but
yeah, the stakes are high.
They are,
to say the least. It was a slam bang episode, and it just goes right into it, and it does not let up. This was fast and intense the entire time.
It
really only slowed down until you get a little closer to the end. So
yeah. It's it is the hallmark, or the high mark, the benchmark, whatever you want to say, for Power Rangers season finales. Many have tried to match it. Few have come close. Some that have gone for, looking at you, stupid, super, mega, dumb force, where you're adapting the legendary battle and you're using Sentai footage that uses every team and an invasion, and you don't come even close to this. Megaforce sucks. This is outstanding.
Not to mention the second season of Megaforce, the title sounds like it should be a Power Rangers parody. I mean, come on. Super Megaforce? Yeah. That sounds only a little redundant. Just saying.
And then you had the worst platitudes of like, Super Mega Rangers? That's a super mega win. Shut up! Sorry, I just outside of Robo Night and the fantastic Christmas clip show episode, a Robo Night Before Christmas, I don't visit Megaforce. It's terrible. Um, it's the one where it was so funny when Power Rangers went from Saban to Disney. People were like, "Boo! Disney's making the show so bad," and yet Dino Force, RPM, SPD, like so many high-regarded seasons were on Disney, and then people were so happy when it was going back to Saban. But you got Samurai slash Super Samurai, which was okay. And then you got Megaforce slash Super Megaforce, which is pretty close to Operation Overdrive in terms of like worst Power Ranger seasons. I'd say like Saban getting it back didn't hit the highs that Disney did, or that Saban did in its original owning of the material. But that's my fanboy rant.
Yeah, well, that's hard to do. So
yeah.
So our heroes are in a dire situation.
They
have been soundly defeated. Dark Spectre is now dead, but now Astronema is in charge of everything, and she tried to reassert her personality because at this point in the show, which is interesting, because she was actually on her way to turning good. She was redeeming herself, and then Darkonda does his Locutus move on her and just takes away all that character development. So about the last 10 episodes, she has regressed farther back than she ever was because it was forced upon her, which is interesting.
Yep. So
same thing with Ecliptor. I think it happened to Ecliptor a little bit too.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, because he had a care and a love for I keep calling her Corone.
That is her character's real name. So.
It is. But he had that care and love for her, and then he got mind wiped basically. So then the last vestibule of honor or whatever you want to say got wiped away, and then they're both pure evil.
Yeah. So they go. It's almost like the show is saying, look how three-dimensional our villains are this season. Oh, and now we're going to show you how much of a contrast it is. We're going to make them one-dimensional forcibly for the last 10 episodes, and then we're going to play with that in the finale.
All right, so Nathan, my dear man, we are heading over to your show for the second episode. Where can people find you so we can get there?
All right. Yes, I'll remember to mention your Twitter. Calm the heck down. It's been quiet this whole time. Well, most of the time. But anyway, you can check out the Monster Island Film Vault, where we seek entertainment and enlightenment through tokusatsu such as this, by going to monsterislandfilmvault.com. You can also follow us on all the social medias. We are at the Monster Isla 1 on Twitter. You can also follow Jimmy at NASA Jimmy. Contractual obligations fulfilled. And we're also on Instagram and on Facebook. If you want to check out me as an author, my author website is nathanjsmarchand.com. Yes, I use both my middle initials because nathanmarchand.com was already taken, and I'm going to find the guy who bought that the first time, and we're going to have a talk. And you can also follow my author Twitter at nathanmarchand7, and on Facebook, my professional page is the Worlds of Nathan Marchand. I think that is everything. The podcast is also on Twitter, but there's not Twitter. It is also on Twitch, but there's nothing there currently. So, there might be more stuff there in the future, just so you know. And you can hear us on all the podcatchers.
Awesome. All right. Well, before we sign off, I did tease this before we started recording. So, Nathan, my good man, I am extending right now a formal invite for you to come back on my show for an episode of my new subseries Unmade. It's one that I can't imagine doing it with anyone else. You are the foremost expert of the kaiju genre that I'm in personal contact with. So, would you be up for sometime in 2021 doing an episode of Unmade about Godzilla, my good man?
I think you already know the answer to this. Which is no. I'm kidding.
No, good day. And then you stop recording. Your mother dresses you funny.
Shut up, Jimmy. Anyway, yes, I would love to. In fact, I have whole books on the subject, and I am personal friends with the man who wrote them. His name is John LeMay. So the only person I can think of who would be even better for such an episode would be John, but you're not friends with John like I am. So, and, I will take any opportunity to promote my show and stroke my ego. So I will come on your show and we will talk about this. Let me tell you, though, there are many that we could talk about. And a couple of them have actually been adapted into audio dramas on another kaiju podcast, one of which featured a friend of mine on it. So,
awesome.
Yeah. So I'll send you the links to those when we're done here. But just to let you know, if anyone out there is interested, it's the Kaijusaurus podcast, which, if I remember correctly, is actually from Scotland.
All right.
It's a Scottish kaiju podcast. My Scottish accent sucks.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to recording that with you. We'll set that up sometime soon, but I just had to invite you for it, and I figured, why not here? Why not now? And dear listener, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's random, wonderful bonus episode of One Cross Radio. Please join us later this week over on the Monster Island Film Vault as Nathan and I finish Countdown to Destruction Part 2, where there's now power vacuums and endings and the first true heroes of this franchise.
Oh yes, they brought them back too, and you're not the only person I've heard call them the true heroes of the franchise.
It's honestly because they go through it's odd it's because they've been on the show since day one, but they go through the most character growth of any characters on the show. So they get a moment in the next episode, which is just so earned and so awesome. And you're just like, fantastic. So that's why I go with that. So listener, come back on Wednesday on Monster Island Film Vault and find out what that moment is with the heroiest of heroes of the show.
And hey, I'm the writer in this call. I'm the one who makes up words.
I can't words, so I make up my own. When people are like, do you speak another language? I say, I barely speak English.
And then you start speaking nerd, and then they're just like, you're from another planet, dude.
Well, heck, honestly, at one point, a buddy of mine, Hal, he was making a dictionary based on phrases that I was using. He's like, just in case you work with people who don't know what you're saying.
Here's a glossary.
Basically.
All right.
All that being said,
see you on Wednesday, listeners.
See you on Wednesday, guys. God bless. Take care, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Peace.
Sayonara.